Take me deeper than my feet could ever wander, and my faith would be.
We met in a friend's rose garden.
It was love at first sight. This was the man I wanted to marry. But having said that, you have to get to know that person, of course. And when I spent time with Gerard, he was a perfect gentleman, so kind. So I could just be myself with Gerard.
We used to have write love letters to each other.
Very old-fashioned.
I just loved her free spirit. She broke all the rules.
And it was a freezing cold day.
Yes.
And my mother had set out everything beautifully in the garden.
2 or 3 months after we'd been on our honeymoon, she went to the doctors and then discovered that you were pregnant.
I was overjoyed that we were blessed with a baby.
Yes.
A honeymoon baby.
Rebecca, from the get-go, was an incredibly talented girl and always had such a sweet heart for other people. She was always a go-getter. She always wanted to race on with life. Ben was our first boy, and he was the sweetest child growing up. I had lots of friends. A great sports person.
Yes. Kind.
Yes, yeah, very kind. He's a very kind. Got a great heart, Ben. Alex was our youngest, and I guess youngest always have a little bit of being spoilt. Would you say?
They're your baby. Let's just say that.
Yes, yeah. And he was outstanding athlete. He had one of the greatest talents I've ever seen. He would have been, I believe, Olympic runner. Sweet boy, sweetheart, and you and him had such a sweet relationship.
Well, because the
me
other
too,
two were
but
that much
yes,
older,
yes.
and everybody else was doing their thing. It was just me and Alex. We hung out together so much.
In his final year, Alex got in with a bad boy at school, and he had a heart to try and help people. And this boy was a troubled child, and instead of influencing him, this boy ended up influencing Alex.
I heard the door knock, and there stood the policeman with the words that they had found Alex and that Alex was dead.
It's very hard to explain the agony and the pain of the loss of a child. Suicide adds another dimension because you have the whole issue of blame. If only, why did we do this? Why didn't we see it? All of these things come in, and of course you rewind it and rewind it and rewind it. The statistics show that it can be as high as 19 out of 20 marriages fail after the suicide of a child. Initially, the thing was for Jeannie particularly, she went into this terrible shock and darkness.
Yeah.
And it got steadily worse, I think it's fair to say, isn't it? As you went through it.
I started to call them seasons of grieving, and you would come out of one season to come into another season, and it just progressively got darker and darker.
Yeah.
Which ultimately ran into our marriage.
Yes. We grieve differently in the sense that I ran into God, but Jeannie...
I ran away from God.
Yeah. Yeah. And it came to a point where she lost her faith. And so the blame then in our marriage was awful, because Jeannie was wanting to find out why this happened. And so she would blame herself, she would blame me. She'd lost at this stage faith in God. So I'd come home at night and the weekends, and it would just come out. This pain would come out, accusation, and so it was awful and like a nightmare. And so I was trying to love Jeannie, but this hatred for herself, hatred for me.
Let me walk upon the waters wherever you would call me. Spirit, lead me where my trust is without borders. Let me walk upon the waters wherever you would call
please visit our website awakeningtogod.org and partner with us in prayer, financial giving and spreading the message.